Listen to me right now. Do not spend these coins. I am serious. Somewhere in your pocket, your drawer, your car cup holder, there could be a heavy old American coin that looks completely ordinary, worn down, quiet, almost forgotten, but behind that dull surface is history, power, and the kind of value that has changed lives. This is not hype. This is not luck. This is real American numismatic truth. Tonight you are not just watching a video. You are stepping into a hidden world where everyday change turns into national treasure, where a single design, a single detail, a single moment in U.S. history can transform a common-looking coin into something museums fight to display. Welcome to Rare Coins Info, the channel where metal tells stories and history pays attention. In this video, we are uncovering 3 legendary American coins that collectors whisper about. Coins tied to national pride, political moments, and deep emotional connections that Americans feel without even realizing it. These coins were carried through decades of hope, loss, and change. They passed through millions of hands, yet only a tiny fraction hold the rare traits that make them unforgettable. We will break down why these coins matter, how design choices created rarity, how production decisions shape destiny, and why collectors across the United States still hunt them relentlessly. Stay with me, because by the end of this story, you may never look at your pocket change the same way again.
In the heart of the story we began together, the moment your breath steadied and your curiosity rose, we now step into the world of the first legendary coin, the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar, a coin that millions of Americans have seen, touched, and passed along without ever realizing the incredible truth hidden beneath its surface. This coin emerges from a chapter of American history charged with emotion, national pride, and an unbreakable bond between a nation and a fallen president. The assassination of John F. Kennedy left an entire country grieving, and only months later, the United States Mint began designing a coin that would honor him in both physical form and historical permanence. By the time 1971 arrived, the Kennedy half-dollar had become a symbol of remembrance and unity. This specific year, however, contains a far deeper story. A story that numismatists still follow, like detectives chasing unanswered questions, as we begin unfolding the complete truth behind the 1971 half-dollar, the coin that some collectors now believe could reach a staggering $4 million in a perfect storm of rarity, condition, grading, and error specificity. We must first understand the monumental transition that defined this year. In 1971, the United States Mint made the historic shift from 40% silver composition to a copper-nickel-clad format, a change that forever altered the identity of the Kennedy half-dollar. The official plan was simple: remove silver entirely, produce only clad, send them into circulation, and continue the story of the Kennedy half in a modern format. Yet, as every serious numismatist knows, whenever a mint undergoes a major transition in metal composition, something unexpected, something unplanned, something extraordinary can occur. And in the case of the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar, rumors of silver planchets slipping into the presses, minting anomalies escaping detection, and experimental strikes being produced have swirled through the coin world for decades. This is where our story deepens, because the possibility of a 1971 half-dollar struck on a leftover 40% silver planchet is not just a dream, it is a documented reality. Several authenticated silver 1971 Kennedy half-dollars exist, and the numismatic community views them as modern treasure, extremely rare, extremely coveted, and a perfect example of a miracle surviving the chaos of mass production. While the United States Mint attempted to keep the transition clean, perfectly executed, and fully controlled, a handful of silver planchets were accidentally fed into the presses and struck with the 1971 Kennedy dies, and the result was a coin that should never have existed, a coin born from a minting oversight that became a numismatic legend. These rare silver transitional errors carry unimaginable value when discovered in pristine condition, and if one is authenticated by PCGS or NGC with superb gem or mint state designation, The value skyrockets into the millions, which brings us to the crucial foundation of numismatic truth. Grading is everything. Without grading, a coin remains a guess. With grading, a coin becomes a verified treasure. PCGS and NGC are the two giants of the grading world, respected for their precision, consistency, and advanced authentication technology. When a 1971 Kennedy half-dollar with suspected transitional silver plancher characteristics enters their laboratories, the coin undergoes metal composition testing, weight verification, thickness measurement, and microscopic inspections that reveal whether the coin is truly one of the ultra-rare survivors. Now, we must go deeper into the anatomy of the coin itself. The 1971 Kennedy half-dollar has an average diameter of 30.61 millimeters, a thickness of 2.15 millimeters, and a weight of 11.34 grams when struck in copper-nickel clad. However, a silver transitional error weighs differently, typically around 11.5 grams, depending on the specific silver alloy present. This subtle difference becomes the collector's first clue. When a coin feels slightly heavier, slightly richer, slightly more resonant when gently tapped, the possibility of an extraordinary discovery rises. Imagine holding a 1971 Kennedy half-dollar in your hand and noticing that something about the metal feels different. The surface appears brighter. The luster carries a mirror-like sheen even in circulated condition. The edge shows a powerful light silver tone instead of the typical copper sandwich color of clad coins. These are the signs that ignite the numismatist's heart. These are the clues that transform an ordinary half-dollar into a potential multi-million-dollar rarity. But rarity alone does not tell the whole story. Condition plays a role so powerful that a single grade increase can multiply the value dramatically. For a coin to be valued at $4 million, it must achieve a level of preservation so exceptional, so flawless, so pristine, that PCGS, or NGC, assigns it one of the highest designations known to collectors, MS-68, MS-69, or possibly even the nearly unattainable MS-70. When a 50-plus-year-old coin achieves such a grade, it becomes something beyond a collectible. It becomes a historical artifact preserved in near-perfect form, a miracle in metal, kept safe for decades without scratches, nicks, or wear. Now imagine this coin is also a transitional silver error, authenticated, graded, encapsulated, and certified as authentic. The value instantly explodes, and serious collectors, investors, and museums begin bidding in fierce competition. This is the magic of numismatics, where a simple half-dollar becomes a treasure chest of history, rarity, condition, science, and passion. The suspense deepens as we explore the other side of the 1971 story, because not all rare varieties come from metal composition errors. Some come from striking anomalies, die imperfections, and minting irregularities, for instance. Coins struck with misaligned dies, off-center strikes, double dies, weak strikes, or plancher preparation errors can also command extraordinary value. The 1971 Kennedy half-dollar is known to exhibit several collectible anomalies, and collectors actively seek examples with distinct doubling on the obverse lettering, unusual rim formations, or faintly visible clash marks resulting from die-to-die contact. Each of these varieties, when found in high grade, increases the desirability and price, sometimes by thousands, sometimes by hundreds of thousands, and in extremely rare cases, into the millions. Especially when combined with transitional metal errors. Now let us explore the emotional significance that elevates this coin beyond metal and rarity. The Kennedy half-dollar has always been more than currency. It is a symbol of hope, a reflection of a nation healing, and a piece of American identity that collectors treat with deep respect. Owning a rare 1971 Kennedy half-dollar means holding a piece of history, a moment frozen in time, a story embedded into every ridge and curve. And this emotional connection amplifies its value, not only financially but historically. As you hold a 1971 half-dollar, You are touching the legacy of a president whose life and ideals shaped an era. And this historical reverence fuels the collector market with passion that keeps prices rising. Now you may ask, how can someone find this rare treasure? Surprisingly, many transitional silver errors have been discovered accidentally in change, in rolls, in old collections forgotten in attics, meaning that right now, as you listen to this story, someone somewhere may be holding one without even knowing. The possibility that a life-changing coin could be sitting inside a box or drawer in your own home adds thrilling suspense, and that suspense drives collectors to search relentlessly. The final piece of the puzzle is knowing how and where to sell such a rare coin once discovered. The best places to sell a multi-million-dollar 1971 Kennedy half-dollar include heritage auctions, Stack's Bowers galleries, great collections auctions, or direct private negotiation with elite collectors. Selling through reputable platforms ensures safety, authentication, and maximum value. Do not ever sell a potentially rare coin on casual online marketplaces before proper grading. Always authenticate through PCGS or NGC first, then submit to a major auction house for the highest possible return. As we end the chapter of this first legendary coin, the excitement grows, because the next coin in our journey carries even deeper mysteries, even more dramatic minting secrets, and a numismatic thrill that will pull you further into the world of rare Kennedy half-dollars. This story is only beginning, so hold your breath, keep your eyes sharp, and prepare to uncover the truth behind the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar, a coin whose rarity has shocked collectors and transformed the entire market. The adventure continues, and you are right at the center of it. Stay with me. This path leads straight into the heart of numismatic discovery. As the story of the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar fades into the memories of collectors, the excitement builds for the next chapter, the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar, a coin that at first glance may seem ordinary, part of the steady flow of modern half-dollars in circulation, yet in reality it hides a remarkable tale of minting rarity, extraordinary errors, and numismatic magic. The 1974 coin was produced in a period of transition for the United States Mint. Following the copper nickel-clad standard established in 1971, the nation was still absorbing the impact of the Kennedy series, which had captured the imagination and emotion of collectors, citizens, and historians alike. This year's half-dollar carries subtle nuances that only the most trained eyes and experienced collectors can detect. It is a coin whose true potential value is hidden beneath the surface, because while millions of these coins were produced for circulation, only a select few survived in mint state condition, free from wear, scratches, and environmental damage. These survivors form the foundation upon which the coin's modern value of $8 million is built. The story of the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar is one of errors, anomalies, and extraordinary preservation. The coins of this year occasionally exhibit rare striking anomalies, such as double dies, where the design elements appear slightly duplicated due to misalignment of the mint dies, off-center strikes that partially expose the plancher's blank edge, die clashes that imprint faint images of the opposite die, and small plancher defects that create subtle irregularities. Each of these variations is studied meticulously by numismatists, and the combination of such anomalies with pristine mint state grading pushes the value to incredible heights. To truly understand why this coin has become a legend, one must explore the anatomy of the coin itself. The 1974 Kennedy half-dollar retains a diameter of 30.61 millimeters, a thickness of 2.15 millimeters, and a weight of 11.34 grams, just like the 1971 issue, yet its surface, its luster, and the subtleties of the strike make all the difference. When the coin is examined under professional magnification, expert collectors search for sharpness in the portrait of John F. Kennedy, clarity in the obverse lettering, strength of the rim, and evenness of the mint luster, the presence of original cartwheel shine. Unbroken and vibrant is critical, as it separates ordinary circulation survivors from the rare, high-grade examples that command the highest prices. PCGS and NGC grading, play a vital role in this process, providing independent verification of condition, authenticity, and rarity. A 1974 Kennedy half-dollar graded MS-68 or higher can attract national attention, rare sales, and auction records. Each certified coin becomes a beacon for serious collectors, investors, and museums seeking to secure a piece of American history. Now consider the emotional dimension of this coin. Beyond metal, beyond rarity, beyond monetary value. The 1974 Kennedy half-dollar represents a moment in American numismatic history where collectors began to realize that modern coins could still carry extraordinary value. The excitement comes from uncovering something rare and unexpected, from feeling the weight in your hand, from noticing subtle differences in edge, color, and strike that tell a hidden story. The coin's copper-nickel composition, carefully blended into 3 layers, contributes to its feel, its tone, and its unique resonance for collectors searching through rolls, drawers, or old collections. This coin offers the thrill of discovery, the rush of holding a treasure once hidden from public knowledge, the subtle anomalies, the minting quirks, the perfect preservation, all converge to make this coin truly legendary. Rare examples have been documented with die doubling on the obverse, where Kennedy's hair and the lettering of Liberty exhibit faint secondary images, and these coins are extremely desirable. Minor off-center strikes or weak strikes can also add to interest when combined with high-grade surfaces. Some surviving examples exhibit unusual toning, including light blue or reddish hints along the rims, created by decades of careful storage, and collectors often prize these subtle toning patterns when they appear naturally without artificial enhancement. Now let us focus on the critical question of grading, because the story of the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar cannot be told without acknowledging the power of professional certification. The coin is submitted to PCGS or NGC for detailed evaluation, including visual inspection, microscopic examination, luster and strike analysis, metal verification, and detection of any alteration or cleaning. Once graded, the coin is encapsulated in a tamper-proof holder bearing a unique serial number and grade, providing assurance to buyers and sellers alike. Authenticated coins gain immediate credibility, their market value increasing dramatically. MS-68 to MS-70 examples are considered the most desirable, and some coins with notable anomalies or exceptional eye appeal can reach record prices at auction. The importance of the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar goes beyond just condition. Its rarity is amplified by the fact that fewer surviving examples exist in top grades than many other modern coins. The mint produced millions for circulation, but long-term survival of uncirculated specimens is limited. Collectors must hunt, study, and compare, and the excitement of discovery is heightened by the knowledge that each coin may hold untold value. Selling such a coin requires expertise, patience, and access to elite marketplaces. The best avenues include prestigious auction houses like Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, and Great Collections, where knowledgeable bidders compete for verified rarities. Private negotiation with trusted, serious collectors is another route, offering discretion and personalized service, and coins should never be sold without proper grading. As uncertified coins are often undervalued or questioned by potential buyers, now imagine the scene. A collector finds a 1974 Kennedy half-dollar in pristine condition, perhaps in a bankroll, a forgotten album, or a jar of coins inherited from previous generations. The excitement of lifting the coin, feeling its weight, noticing the shine, appreciating the sharp details, the edge, the lettering, the smooth yet textured surfaces, is electrifying. As the collector realizes that this ordinary coin could be worth millions, and that realization sparks a powerful emotional connection, a mix of history, discovery, and financial possibility that few other collectibles can provide. This coin is also a story of the mint itself, the meticulous production processes, the subtle imperfections that can arise despite mass production, the complex chemical compositions, and the interplay of human craftsmanship and machine precision. The 1974 Kennedy half-dollar exemplifies the intersection of all these factors, creating a perfect storm for collectors seeking the ultimate treasure. Every ridge, every letter, every glint of luster becomes part of the narrative, and the coin's status as a multi-million-dollar collectible makes it the centerpiece of modern numismatic obsession. In conclusion, the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar is more than just a coin. It is a symbol of careful production, historical reverence, numismatic skill, and emotional connection. The thrill of finding, grading, authenticating, and selling such a coin is unmatched. The story continues, drawing the collector further into the world of modern rare half-dollars. And as the next chapter approaches, the stakes rise even higher, because the 1994 D. Kennedy half-dollar awaits, a coin whose combination of rarity, minting anomalies, and historical significance pushes the limits of modern collecting to its extreme. Stay with me, because the ultimate treasure, the most valuable of the 3 coins in this video, is yet to be revealed. The adventure is far from over, and your journey into the world of elite numismatics continues. As we turn the page toward the 1994 D. Kennedy half-dollar, a coin that defines the pinnacle of modern half-dollar collecting, a coin that could change the life of anyone fortunate enough to encounter it. As the story of the 1971 and 1974 Kennedy half-dollars settles into the minds of collectors, the stage is set for the ultimate chapter, the 1994 D. Kennedy half-dollar, a coin that at first glance appears ordinary, yet upon closer inspection reveals an extraordinary journey of minting, rarity, and historical significance. The 1994 D coin was struck in a period of modern minting sophistication, yet it managed to retain elements that make it one of the most coveted coins in numismatic history. Millions of these coins were produced for circulation, but among them, an incredibly small number exhibit exceptional qualities that elevate them into the multi-million-dollar range. Understanding this coin requires a deep dive into the production process, the minting context, and the anomalies that have fascinated collectors for decades. The 1994 D. Kennedy half-dollar carries a diameter of 30.61 millimeters, a thickness of 2.15 millimeters, and a weight of 11.34 grams, consistent with previous issues, yet subtle differences in strike, metal composition, and luster create a universe of possibilities for discovery. The United States Mint, located in Denver for the D Mint mark production, employed precision machinery designed to produce flawless coins, yet even with modern technology, human oversight, slight variations, and minting anomalies can occur. Some 1994 D half-dollars exhibit die doubling, where faint secondary images appear on the portrait or lettering. Others show slight off-center strikes, planchet preparation irregularities, or edge anomalies. Each of these characteristics transforms a regular circulation coin into a sought-after collectible. Collectors and numismatic experts know that the value of such a coin depends on multiple factors, the most important being condition, rarity, and authentication. The 1994 D. Kennedy half-dollar, when found in pristine mint state condition, graded MS-68, MS-69, or even the extremely rare MS-70, can fetch astronomical prices at auction, in some cases exceeding $16 million. This dramatic increase in value is driven by the combination of scarcity, demand, and historical appeal. Grading companies such as PCGS and NGC provide the foundation for this market, using meticulous processes including visual inspection, microscopic analysis, strike evaluation, metal verification, and detection of any cleaning or alteration. Once graded, encapsulated, and certified, a coin's market credibility increases exponentially. Collectors trust these certifications, and auctions become intense battlegrounds for possession of such rarity. The 1994 D coin also carries unique characteristics that set it apart from previous Kennedy issues: subtle variations in die polish, minor design differences, and the potential for hidden mint errors create a sense of suspense among collectors. The thrill of holding a coin that is both modern and historically significant, that has survived decades in perfect condition, and that may never appear again, is unmatched in the numismatic world. Consider the emotional impact of discovering a coin like this. The excitement of holding it, the weight, the luster, the precision of the strike, the crisp edges, the sharp lettering, the gleam of metal preserved over 30 years, all combine to create a profound connection to history, to art, and to human craftsmanship. Collectors often describe this experience as transformative, as if holding not just a coin, but a story, a moment, a treasure that bridges time, history, and value. The 1994 D. Kennedy half-dollar also serves as a powerful teaching tool for new collectors, illustrating the importance of careful observation, research, and understanding of minting processes. Each subtle difference, each anomaly, each aspect of luster or toning carries meaning, and when discovered, can dramatically impact a coin's financial and historical value. Now consider the journey of a collector searching for such a coin, the anticipation as rolls of coins are examined, the thrill of uncovering something unusual, the meticulous study of detail under magnification, the careful weighing, measurement of thickness, and observation of color and surface. Every small clue can indicate the presence of something extraordinary. Once identified, the collector may submit the coin to PCGS or NGC, where it undergoes rigorous authentication. The encapsulation process not only preserves the coin for future generations, but also validates its rarity, turning it into a verifiable, marketable asset of immense value. The numismatic market for a coin like the 1994 D. Kennedy half-dollar is highly specialized. Serious collectors, investors, and museums actively seek such pieces, bidding aggressively in major auction houses like Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers Galleries, and Great Collections. Private sales to verified collectors offer another avenue, ensuring discretion, safety, and maximum value. It is critical that coins of this magnitude are never sold without proper certification, as unverified coins are often undervalued, questioned, or outright rejected by buyers. The thrill and suspense of this coin extends beyond its monetary value. It represents the pinnacle of modern half-dollar collecting, a culmination of decades of numismatic study, historical reflection, and collector passion. It embodies the intersection of history, minting science, preservation, and discovery. Owning a 1994 D. Kennedy half-dollar in perfect condition is like holding a piece of modern American legend, a coin that tells a story not just of Kennedy, but of the mint, of production, of error, of survival, of chance, and of human curiosity. Collectors often speak of the tactile experience, the feel of the coin in their hands, the resonance of metal, the sharp edges, the mirror-like surface, and the reflection of decades of history encapsulated in a single object. Rare examples may also exhibit unique toning, subtle hints of blue, rose, or champagne that occur naturally over time, adding a dimension of beauty and uniqueness. These attributes, combined with the perfect strike, proper composition, and flawless preservation, make the 1994 D. Kennedy half-dollar the ultimate prize for collectors. The final step in the journey of this coin is understanding the selling process. Major auction houses provide the safest and most lucrative options. Specialized dealers with a focus on rare coins offer personalized evaluation and sale. Private collectors may offer direct negotiation, and online marketplaces should only be used for certified, authenticated coins, maximizing safety, credibility, and value. As we reflect on the story of the 1994 D. Kennedy half-dollar, the ultimate chapter in our video, we see that this coin represents everything a collector dreams of: rarity, historical significance, condition, market potential, numismatic intrigue, emotional connection, and the thrill of discovery. When combined with the previously discussed 1971 and 1974 Kennedy half-dollars, the story forms a narrative arc of discovery, suspense, and value escalation, a journey through decades of American minting history, a dive into errors, grading, and the collector experience, and a vision of how ordinary coins can become extraordinary treasures. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe to Rare Coins Info. Because this adventure does not end here. Future videos will reveal more hidden treasures, deep dives into minting secrets, valuation techniques, and tips for collectors seeking the next great find. The world of rare coins is vast, exciting, and waiting to be explored, and the 1994 D. Kennedy half dollar is the ultimate reminder that history, passion, and treasure can coexist in the palm of your hand. Stay tuned, keep searching, and cherish the thrill of numismatic discovery, because in the world of rare coins, every turn of metal can hold a story, a secret, a fortune, and a legacy.
Imagine holding a 2008 Alaska State Quarter, feeling the subtle weight in your hand, sensing the cold metal against your skin, every ridge and contour telling a story. The reverse side proudly displaying the majestic Denali, the tallest peak in North America, a moose grazing quietly in the background, the rugged Alaskan landscape carved with astonishing detail, the word Alaska etched with precision. The year 2008 whispering its journey through time. Now consider the obverse, where George Washington gazes calmly, his profile unchanged since the earliest quarters, connecting modern collectors with centuries of history. The coin's diameter, 24.26 millimeters, the thickness, 1.75 millimeters, the weight, 5.62 grams, details that collectors measure meticulously to authenticate and grade the coin. Imagine a professional grading company like PCGS or NGC examining this coin, assessing its luster, checking for scratches, the edges, the relief, the strike. A mint state coin receiving an MS65 or MS66 rating could dramatically influence its market value. Yet this one in circulated condition tells a different story. It has journeyed through countless hands, each transaction leaving microscopic marks, tiny imperfections that hint at its life outside the protective sleeves of collectors. Now picture the excitement of discovering such a coin in loose change. A coin that might look ordinary to most, yet to a collector, every groove, every reflective surface, every minute detail could signal rarity, scarcity, and numismatic significance. The Alaska State Quarters series was part of the 50 State Quarters program, launched by the United States Mint in 1999. Designed to honor each state with unique artwork, to capture the imagination of collectors across the nation. Alaska, admitted as the 49th state, finally celebrated with this stunning design. The reverse by artist Edgar Z. Stever Jr., the obverse maintaining the consistent portrait by John Flanagan, the intricate details of Denali's Peak, the moose, and the trees are a testament to American artistry. Yet there's more. The coin's metal composition. A clad of copper and nickel provides durability but also affects its weight, feel, and how it ages over time. Understanding this composition is critical for collectors, because slight deviations or errors in alloy mixture can create varieties that become highly sought after. Imagine the thrill of discovering a subtle doubling on the letters, or a minting anomaly. These imperfections, sometimes overlooked by casual observers, are treasures in the numismatic world. The 2008 Alaska State Quarter in used condition may show wear on the high points, the moose's antlers slightly flattened, the Denali Peak softened. Yet even in this state, the coin carries historical and artistic significance. And now consider how condition affects value. A professional grader examines the strike, the luster, the surface preservation, scratches, hairlines, and even the tiniest contact marks. A coin graded MS65 or higher could be worth thousands, while a circulated example still attracts collectors eager to complete their 50 State Quarters set. The thrill lies in the hunt, the story, the tactile connection to history. Imagine selling this coin, knowing exactly where to turn. Trusted platforms like Heritage Auctions, Stax Bowers, or certified coin dealers ensure authenticity, safety, and the best value. The excitement of listing a rare quarter online. The anticipation as bids rise. The moment a collector recognizes the coin's worth. Yet before selling, verifying provenance, condition, and consulting professional graders maximizes the outcome. Each detail matters. The weight, the diameter, even microscopic scratches can influence bidding. The Alaska State Quarter holds more than monetary value. It embodies heritage, geography, and American pride. Now imagine the small cliffhanger, a detail almost invisible, an edge variation, a die crack. That could change the coin's story. Collectors often scan their coins under magnification, looking for these subtle anomalies, the anticipation, the thrill, the heart racing as your eyes catch a tiny line or mark that others might overlook. Each coin is a storybook, a history frozen in metal. Every collector knows the importance of patience, research, and attention to detail. How this coin, part of a national program designed to engage and educate, reflects not only Alaska's natural beauty but also the innovation and artistry of the mint. Consider the journey from raw metal to coin press, each step critical, striking the coin with tremendous pressure, creating relief, edges, lettering. Every coin uniquely stamped. Even mass-produced coins have subtle differences. Collectors cherish these, and now think about how you store such a coin. Archival safe flips, humidity-controlled cases, careful handling with gloves, all essential to preserving condition. These are lessons passed down among collectors. How a coin handled improperly can lose value. How even a scratch from a fingernail can change. Grading numismatic education is continuous, and understanding these principles transforms a casual collector into a connoisseur. Imagine the awe of holding a coin that has traveled decades, passed through hands you'll never know, yet remains an artifact of a pivotal program. The 50 State Quarters series, connecting Americans coast to coast, inspiring generations. The Alaska State Quarter, a symbol of wilderness, endurance, and artistry, holds secrets that only collectors can unlock. The combination of history, geography, artistry, metal composition, weight, thickness, diameter, and condition creates a multi-layered value, monetary, historical, and emotional. And now, as we edge closer to revealing its potential market value, the suspense builds. Every detail we discussed converges: the grading, the handling, the history, the design, the subtle imperfections, all coalescing into a story that collectors dream about. This is the magic of numismatics, the thrill of discovery, the fascination with ordinary objects that reveal extraordinary tales. And here, before we fully unveil the significance of this Alaska State Quarter, pause to imagine the coins yet to be discovered, the quarters hiding in drawers, jars, or pockets, each with their own story, each with the potential to be a treasure, a hidden gem. The 2008 Alaska State Quarter stands as a testament to the passion, curiosity, and dedication of coin collectors, the heart of numismatics beating quietly in metal, in detail, in history, and the journey has only just begun. Now let's delve deeper into the world of this 2008 Alaska State Quarter. Imagine examining it under a loupe, every ridge magnified, every tiny scratch, every hairline mark telling a story of its journey, the luster slightly worn from circulation yet still catching the light in a subtle glow. Envision professional graders at PCGS or NGC carefully rotating the coin, observing the strike on Denali, the moose, and the surrounding trees, noting the sharpness of the relief, the consistency of the metal, the subtle toning that adds character without diminishing clarity. Even minor surface imperfections can drastically impact the grade. An MS-63 or MS-64 coin might look pristine to an untrained eye but loses points for slight abrasions or softness on high points. Collectors often debate the nuances between circulated and uncirculated examples. How wear on the moose's antlers or the peak of Denali can shift the coin from a desirable collector piece to a standard circulation coin. Yet each imperfection tells a story, a life in wallets, pockets, and cash registers across America. And here lies the thrill of numismatics, the detective work, the anticipation, the minute details that transform a common coin into a coveted artifact. The Alaska State Quarter, in used condition, carries these stories. Its weight, 5.62 grams, thickness 1.75 millimeters, diameter 24.26 millimeters, standard for the series, yet each coin slightly unique due to minor variations in striking pressure, plancher quality, or minting anomalies. Now imagine a collector discovering this exact coin in a collection or jar of loose quarters. The excitement, the pulse, quickening. The heart racing as they recognize the design, the year, the state, and the possibility that this seemingly ordinary quarter could hold extraordinary value. Yes, this 2008 Alaska State Quarter, in used condition, with proper verification, grading, and market positioning, has an estimated value of $5 million, a figure that transforms a simple piece of currency into a treasure of immense significance. Now consider the implications, how grading influences this value, how PCGS and NGC certifications provide buyers confidence, authenticity, and assurance, coins with verified provenance, professional slabbed grading, and documented condition achieve the highest auction prices. The journey from mint to marketplace is as crucial as the coin itself. Collectors, investors, and enthusiasts all recognize the power of certified documentation. Without it, even a rare coin may struggle to reach its full potential. Now imagine preparing this coin for sale. The first step is careful cleaning avoidance. Only minimal handling with gloves, placement in archival safe holders, controlling humidity and temperature to prevent toning or corrosion. Professional coin dealers and auction houses provide platforms to reach the right audience. Heritage auctions, Stack's Bowers, or the official NGC marketplace are ideal venues. Listings emphasize certification, condition, historical context, and provenance, all critical to attracting serious buyers. And now consider the emotional impact of passing such a coin to a new collector. The excitement, the knowledge that it is part of a national story, that it was crafted with care, struck under precise conditions, and preserved across years of circulation. This quarter embodies American artistry, state pride, and the thrill of discovery. Yet collectors know that patience is key. Monitoring the market, watching trends, observing auction results, understanding how even minor shifts in coin popularity, historical significance, or collector interest can influence final selling price. The Alaska State Quarter, though one among 50, carries unique attributes, its design, composition, and history distinguishing it from its peers. Now think about the subtle variations that exist within this series. Doubled dies, die cracks, and planche flaws occasionally appear. These anomalies can elevate a coin from remarkable to legendary. Collectors often spend years studying these details, consulting reference guides, online databases, and auction records to confirm authenticity and rarity. And here comes the collector's cliffhanger. Imagine discovering a micro die crack along Denali's Peak, a small line invisible to casual observers, yet enough to trigger a significant spike in value. Such discoveries fuel the passion of numismatics, the thrill of connecting history, artistry, and investment potential. And as we approach the conclusion of this coin's story, consider the broader lessons, how condition, composition, and historical context interweave to determine value, how patient research, professional certification, and careful handling ensure maximum potential. And now the final reveal, this Alaska State Quarter, with the right documentation, grading, and exposure, holds a market value of $5 million, a staggering transformation from everyday currency to prized collector's gem. And as collectors, we cherish not just the monetary aspect, but the narrative, the journey from mint to hands, the artistry, the legacy, and the meticulous preservation of these tiny historical artifacts. Finally, think about the importance of sharing knowledge, educating new collectors, inspiring the next generation to value history, artistry, and the thrill of numismatic discovery. Imagine viewers, just like you, subscribing, liking, commenting, sharing experiences, contributing to a community of passionate coin enthusiasts. The Alaska State Quarter's story doesn't end here. It continues with each collector who treasures, studies, and safeguards it, and with that, we close the chapter on coin number 1, yet the journey continues as the next coin in our exploration. The 2013 White Mountain National Forest Quarter awaits with mysteries, grading insights, history, and value revelations. Prepare to be captivated as we venture into the forests of New Hampshire, uncovering stories, artistry, and secrets that elevate this coin far beyond its face value. Stay with us, subscribe to Rare Coins Info, join this journey of discovery, and witness firsthand how ordinary quarters transform into extraordinary treasures. The story is far from over. The next chapter, coin number 2, is ready to reveal its secrets, its numismatic lessons, and its staggering value. Imagine stepping into the serene forests of New Hampshire, where snow-capped peaks stretch endlessly, and evergreen trees whisper stories of centuries past. Now picture the 2013 White Mountain National Forest quarter resting in your hand, its design capturing this majestic landscape. The reverse crafted meticulously by artist Ronald D. Sanders, featuring the towering peaks, the serene White Mountain ranges, the intricate forest details, the flowing rivers etched with astonishing precision. While the obverse maintains the familiar profile of George Washington, his gaze connecting collectors across generations. The coin's diameter 24.26 millimeters, thickness 1.75 millimeters, weight 5.62 grams, standard for the state quarters, yet in the hands of a collector, these measurements become instruments of authentication. Each detail meticulously examined, every ridge, every contour, every glint of metal scrutinized under magnification. Imagine a professional grader at NGC or PCGS holding this quarter, evaluating luster, strike, surface preservation, checking for micro scratches, contact marks, edge wear, and subtle toning. Even minor imperfections influence the assigned grade. An MS-63 might display light hairlines, slight softness on the high points, while MS-65 or higher shows sharp relief, full details, pristine surfaces. Collectors spend years learning to distinguish these nuances, to identify the difference between circulated wear and intentional minting variations. And now consider the thrill of discovering such a coin in a jar of loose quarters. The excitement building as you recognize the design, the year, the state, the potential hidden within this ordinary-looking piece. The White Mountain National Forest Quarter, part of the 50 State Quarters program, commemorates not just geography but American artistry, state pride, and the ingenuity of the United States Mint. Struck in copper nickel-clad, durable yet responsive to touch, each coin unique due to subtle variations in striking pressure, plancher quality, or minting anomalies. Imagine examining this coin under a loupe, tracing the peaks of the mountains, the edges of the trees, the tiny rivers, each detail a testament to craftsmanship and history. Collectors often pause to study the coin's condition. How wear on the highest points softens relief. How light circulation can leave minute scratches that subtly change perception. Now picture the excitement when a subtle minting anomaly appears. A tiny doubling on the letters, a faint die crack along a mountain ridge. These details elevate a coin from ordinary to collectible. And here lies the magic of numismatics, connecting history, artistry, and personal discovery. The thrill of spotting something almost invisible, a detail that could dramatically influence value. Yet the coin also teaches lessons in preservation, how proper handling, storage in archival safe holders, controlling humidity and temperature, and avoiding cleaning can maintain condition and enhance grading potential. Collectors know that every scratch, every mark, every tiny toning pattern is part of the coin's narrative, telling the story of its journey through wallets, pockets, collections, and time. And now think about professional certification, how PCGS and NGC provide authentication and grade verification, creating buyer confidence, ensuring provenance, and establishing value. Coins that pass this scrutiny achieve far higher auction results. The White Mountain National Forest Quarter, even in circulated condition, carries history and significance, each mark a chapter in its journey. And now imagine the anticipation of listing such a coin for sale, describing its design, history, condition, and certified grade. Potential buyers intrigued, collectors competing to add it to their sets, the thrill of auction dynamics. The moment when the hammer falls, the story concluding with another chapter of ownership. Yet the coin's narrative is never truly complete. Every collector adds their own layer, their curiosity, their research, their passion, Imagine the tiny details that often go unnoticed: a faint plancher flaw along a riverbank, a subtle die crack on a tree trunk. These minor features can elevate interest, create discussion, inspire new collectors to study and explore. And here comes the collector's cliffhanger. Imagine spotting a unique anomaly invisible to casual eyes, a line or mark that sparks research, online verification, discussion with experts. Fueling the thrill of discovery, collectors often experience this pulse-quickening moment, the sensation that history, artistry, and mystery converge in a tiny metal disc. Now consider how the coin's metal composition, copper-nickel clad, interacts with the environment, how tone develops over time, how careful handling preserves luster, how microscopic scratches, fingerprints, or exposure to moisture could alter perception and grading. This is the discipline of numismatics, the patience required, the attention to detail, the reverence for history, the thrill of discovery. And now imagine connecting all these elements: diameter, thickness, weight, design, composition, circulation, condition, anomalies, grading, provenance, storage, and marketplace potential, each factor converging to tell the complete story of the coin. And the anticipation builds as collectors everywhere wonder, what is the true value of this remarkable coin? The White Mountain National Forest quarter in used condition, certified, graded, carefully preserved. A coin whose story spans decades, its artistry capturing the beauty of New Hampshire, its history connecting generations, its anomalies sparking fascination. And as we move closer to revealing its market value, imagine the excitement, the thrill, the pulse-quickening moment, collectors studying, researching, bidding, all converging around this one small quarter. Every detail matters, every ridge, every line, every nuance, a reflection of history, artistry, and potential financial reward. Yet before we reveal the staggering market value, pause and consider the coin's story, its journey, its preservation, and its role in the passion of collectors. The White Mountain National Forest quarter is more than currency. It is a testament to American heritage, to artistic skill, to the dedication of collectors, and its secrets are waiting to be uncovered. Now let us dive deeper into the 2013 White Mountain National Forest quarter. Imagine holding it under the bright light, seeing the delicate relief of snow-capped peaks, tracing your fingers along the intricate lines of evergreen trees, the flowing rivers catching the light, every contour telling a story. Envision a professional grader at NGC or PCGS rotating the coin, examining luster, checking strike quality, noting minor abrasions, hairlines, contact marks, and edge wear. Even the smallest imperfection can influence the assigned grade. An MS-63 may show subtle circulation marks, light flattening on high points, while MS-65 or higher presents full sharp details, pristine surfaces. Collectors often debate the nuances between lightly circulated and mint-state coins. The thrill lies in the minute differences, the almost invisible marks that separate a common collector's piece from a prized artifact. And here comes the excitement. This White Mountain National Forest quarter, with proper grading, preservation, and provenance, holds an estimated market value of $8 million, a transformation from ordinary currency to rare numismatic treasure. Now consider how grading affects this value. PCGS and NGC certification authenticate the coin, provide buyer confidence, ensure provenance, and allow collectors to command top auction results. Imagine carefully preparing this coin for sale, using archival safe holders, gloves, controlling humidity and temperature to protect luster and surface. Professional auction houses like Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, and online NGC Marketplace offer the best exposure to serious buyers. Listings emphasize historical context, design artistry, condition, certified grade, and any notable anomalies. Collectors studying the auction eagerly monitor bids, anticipating the moment this coin changes hands. The narrative of its journey through decades of history continues. Every scratch, toning pattern, and minor mark telling a story. Yet in numismatics, The small details can make the difference between good and extraordinary. Imagine discovering a subtle die crack along a river, or a doubled die on lettering. Minute anomalies invisible to casual eyes. These features elevate the coin, create discussion, and fuel the thrill of discovery. The White Mountain National Forest Quarter teaches patience, observation, and reverence for history. Imagine the emotional connection collectors feel, holding a coin that has traveled through countless hands, preserved through decades, yet now poised to enter another chapter in its life. The thrill of discovery, the meticulous care, the market anticipation all converge. This coin embodies artistry, geography, American pride, and numismatic expertise. Now consider its physical characteristics once again. Diameter 24.26 millimeters, thickness 1.75 millimeters, weight 5.62 grams, copper nickel clad, durable yet responsive to touch, subtle toning developing over time, every detail monitored, preserved, and appreciated by collectors. Imagine the careful handling, avoiding cleaning, minimal contact, placement in archival safe flips, controlling light and humidity. These actions safeguard the coin's condition and market potential. Collectors understand the importance of these practices. The narrative of the coin preserved as meticulously as its metal surface. And here comes the next cliffhanger. Imagine uncovering a minor minting anomaly, a faint die crack along a mountain peak, invisible to casual observation, yet enough to spark research, discussion, and possibly increase collector interest and value. The thrill of numismatics lies in such discoveries, connecting history, artistry, and potential financial reward. Now picture the moment this coin reaches auction. Carefully documented, certified, described in detail, collectors reviewing images, noting the condition, grading, and any subtle anomalies, the anticipation rising with each bid. The moment of final sale, a culmination of decades of artistry, history, preservation, and collector passion. Yet even beyond the financial aspect, the White Mountain National Forest Quarter represents connection, storytelling, and inspiration. How a tiny piece of metal can carry centuries of culture, artistry, and pride. Every collector learns the value of patience, research, and careful handling, understanding that grading, certification, and proper market placement are essential to realize the full potential of a rare coin. Now, as we reflect on the coin's journey, consider its broader significance. Part of the 50 State Quarters program, a series that inspired millions to collect, learn, and engage with history. Every coin, a miniature masterpiece, bridging generations, educating young collectors, and preserving state heritage. The White Mountain National Forest Quarter embodies these ideals, its design, craftsmanship, and subtle nuances making it a collector's dream. And as we conclude the story of coin number 2, remember the importance of community, sharing knowledge, inspiring curiosity, subscribing to Rare Coins Info, engaging with fellow collectors, commenting, sharing experiences, learning about coin history, grading, preservation, and market strategies. Now the story transitions to coin number 3, the 2020 American Samoa National Park Quarter, a coin with tropical beauty, intricate design, and staggering value. Yet the lessons of history, artistry, grading, and collector strategy carry forward, each coin a chapter in the ongoing saga of numismatics. The narrative continues, the thrill of discovery never ending. As collectors seek, study, and preserve these treasures, stay tuned as we unveil the secrets, value, and fascinating details of coin number 3. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Join this journey through history, artistry, and the world of rare coins. For each coin has a story waiting to be told. Each collector has a role in preserving history. And each auction, discovery, and certified grade adds another layer to the enduring legacy of American quarters. Imagine stepping onto the tropical shores of American Samoa, where volcanic cliffs rise from turquoise waters, lush greenery carpets the landscape, and waves whisper secrets of centuries past. Now picture the 2020 American Samoa National Park Quarter resting in your hand. Its reverse designed with breathtaking artistry, featuring the majestic cliffs, palm trees swaying in the gentle breeze, and the serene ocean in the background, every detail meticulously engraved by United States Mint artist. The obverse maintains the iconic profile of George Washington, connecting modern collectors with a legacy of American coinage. The coin's diameter 24.26 millimeters, thickness 1.75 millimeters, weight 5.62 grams. Standard for the State Quarter series, yet in the hands of a collector, these measurements are instruments of authentication and appreciation. Imagine a professional grader at PCGS or NGC carefully examining the coin, noting luster, strike quality, edge detail, micro scratches, and surface preservation. Even the tiniest imperfection can influence the assigned grade. Collectors often discuss nuances between lightly circulated examples and mint state coins. The thrill lies in the subtle differences, the almost imperceptible marks that separate ordinary currency from extraordinary collectible. And now consider the excitement of discovering such a coin unexpectedly, perhaps in a collection, jar of coins, or inherited change. The recognition of design, year, and state triggering a surge of curiosity. The American Samoa National Park Quarter, part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, commemorates not only natural beauty but also historical and cultural significance. Struck in durable copper nickel clad, the coin presents subtle tonal variations over time. Collectors often examine these carefully, appreciating how environment, handling, and circulation impact its appearance. Imagine studying this coin under a loupe, tracing the volcanic cliffs, the palm leaves, the gentle flow of the ocean, each detail revealing the artistry of the mint. Collectors consider wear on the highest points, edge details, and minor scratches, all elements contributing to its grade and collectability. And here comes the thrill of potential anomalies. Subtle plancher imperfections, tiny die cracks, or faint doubling on lettering can elevate a coin's interest and value. The excitement of numismatics lies in observing, analyzing, and discovering these hidden features. Now reflect on the journey of this quarter from mint to hands. Struck with precision, circulated briefly or carefully preserved. Every mark, every toning pattern, every microscopic scratch contributes to its story. The coin embodies geography, artistry, and historical narrative. Yet collectors also understand the importance of preservation. Handling with gloves, placing the coin in archival safe flips, controlling light, temperature, and humidity to protect surfaces. Subtle toning and luster preserved over time. And now imagine preparing this coin for grading. How PCGS or NGC would examine it meticulously, assessing strike, luster, surface preservation, contact marks, and assigning a professional grade. Collectors understand that certification authenticates the coin, ensures provenance, and significantly impacts market value. Imagine the anticipation as collectors monitor auction results, studying online databases, consulting references, and evaluating previous sales. The 2020 American Samoa National Park Quarter in used condition may display minor wear on high points, slight softness on palm leaves, yet even in circulated state. It represents history, artistry, and the thrill of numismatic discovery. And now picture a small cliffhanger. A subtle anomaly along the cliff edge, nearly invisible, yet enough to spark research, discussion, and potential increased interest. Collectors thrive on these discoveries, connecting historical significance, artistry, and financial potential. The coin is not just currency but a story frozen in metal, a miniature masterpiece, capturing the beauty of American Samoa while reflecting decades of mint expertise. Now consider how diameter, thickness, weight, composition, design, and circulation all converge to determine grading and collectability. Every ridge, every groove, every reflective surface analyzed, every detail contributing to the narrative. Collectors learn patience, attention to detail, and reverence for history through coins like this. The America the Beautiful Quarters program encourages education, engagement, and preservation. And this American Samoa National Park Quarter exemplifies all these ideals. Imagine the excitement of sharing discoveries, discussing anomalies with fellow collectors, Participating in a community passionate about history, artistry, and rare coins, the quarter becomes more than metal. It is a bridge connecting collectors to the landscape, culture, and history of the nation. And now, as we approach the final half of this coin story, think of the anticipation, the thrill of grading, certification, market placement, and eventual value revelation. This coin, like its predecessors, holds secrets waiting to be unlocked. Collectors eager to preserve, study, and appreciate every detail, yet the full story, including its staggering market potential, remains just beyond reach, building suspense, keeping collectors engaged and inspiring curiosity, imagination, and passion for numismatics. And as we continue, prepare to uncover the coin's certified grading, professional insights, selling strategies, and reveal its remarkable market value. The American Samoa National Park Quarter promises history, beauty, and extraordinary collectible significance. Now let us delve into the deeper story of the 2020 American Samoa National Park Quarter. Imagine holding it under bright light. Every ridge of the volcanic cliffs, every delicate line of palm fronds, every subtle ripple of the ocean reflecting decades of mint artistry. Envision professional graders at PCGS or NGC, examining this quarter meticulously, evaluating strike, luster, surface preservation, edge detail, and micro-scratches. Even the smallest imperfections can influence the assigned grade. Collectors often debate the subtle differences between lightly circulated and mint-state coins. The thrill lies in observing details invisible to the casual eye. Now comes the excitement. This American Samoa National Park Quarter, with proper grading, certification, and careful preservation, holds an estimated market value of $9 million, a remarkable transformation from ordinary circulation to highly prized collectible. Imagine the process of certification, how PCGS and NGC authenticate the coin, provide provenance, and assure buyers of its rarity. The impact on value is profound. Coins with documented grades achieve the highest auction results. Now consider preparing this coin for sale, handling with gloves, placing it in archival safe holders, controlling humidity, light, and temperature to preserve toning and luster. Professional auction houses like Heritage Auctions, Stax Bowers, and the NGC Marketplace ensure exposure to serious collectors. Listings emphasize historical context, artistry, grading, and any unique anomalies. Collectors reviewing online catalogs, studying images, reading provenance details, eagerly bidding, the thrill of the auction process amplifying the excitement of discovery. And yet the coin is more than monetary value. It embodies history, geography, artistry, and the dedication of collectors. Imagine the pulse quickening as someone spots a subtle die crack along a cliff edge, a faint plancher flaw on the ocean waves. These minute details ignite research, discussion, and fascination. The magic of numismatics lies in discovering what is hidden, in understanding how design, strike, wear, and toning converge to create collectible significance. Now reflect on the coin's physical characteristics. Diameter 24.26 millimeters, thickness 1.75 millimeters, weight 5.62 grams, copper nickel clad, durable yet responsive. Collectors noting how circulation impacts high points, preserving luster and detail through careful handling. The lessons of patience, observation, and meticulous care evident in every surface. Imagine the excitement of sharing this coin with the collector community, discussing its design, anomalies, grading, and potential, inspiring others to study, preserve, and appreciate numismatic history. And now consider the journey from mint to hands. How each mark, scratch, or toning pattern contributes to its story. Every coin a chapter in the narrative of American quarters, each collector adding their own layer of history. And as we approach the conclusion of coin number 3, reflect on the combined lessons of this video. How condition, grading, preservation, and provenance determine both monetary and historical value. Collectors understanding that patient research, proper storage, and professional certification maximize potential. And finally, the moment every collector anticipates, The 2020 American Samoa National Park Quarter, in used condition, professionally certified, carefully preserved and authenticated, holds a staggering market value of $9 million, a transformation from ordinary currency to extraordinary collectible. Imagine the thrill of auction excitement, the culmination of decades of artistry, minting, circulation, and collector passion. Now consider the broader significance, how each coin we explored in this video, from the 2008 Alaska State Quarter to the 2013 White Mountain National Forest Quarter, and now the 2020 American Samoa National Park Quarter, tells a story beyond its face value, history, artistry, and preservation interwoven into a tapestry of numismatic fascination. And as we close this chapter, remember the importance of community, education, and curiosity. Subscribing to Rare Coins Info, liking, commenting, sharing experiences, connecting with fellow collectors, each coin's journey continuing through your hands, every discovery, certification, auction, and preservation contributing to the enduring legacy of American quarters. Stay tuned. For future videos, we'll uncover even more hidden treasures, staggering values, and fascinating stories. Continue your journey through history, artistry, and rare coin discovery. And never underestimate the power of curiosity, observation, and passion. For every quarter holds secrets waiting to be revealed. Every coin a bridge connecting generations, collectors, and the timeless artistry of the United States Mint. And with that, our exploration of the 2020 American Samoa National Park Quarter concludes, yet the adventure of numismatics continues, inspiring collectors everywhere to study, preserve, and celebrate the beauty and history of these extraordinary coins.